Calvin Johnson, who is now a robust cannabis grower.
Hell yeah.
A successful dope business operator, a Hall of Famer, has also come out and said, I ain't working 28 hours for the Detroit Lions to get the money back that they owe me from fucking 15 years ago. Like, I'm not going to do that. He now has come out and said, you're going to pay me $1.6 million, however you're going to if you want to make this right. You don't have to pay me, by the way, but the Lions have come out and said, we want to make it right. And Calvin Johnson probably all along was like, okay, we can do this. You stole money from me earlier. Now, your contract said we could take the money back. Okay, I feel like I outperformed my contract. I end up in the Hall of Fame and I retired early, and you don't have to be an asshole owner. I mean, Jim Irsay literally gave $25 million to Andrew Luck. I think that was just to keep him on the good side, just in case Andrew wants to come out of the woods and play football again. We're not 100% sure, but Calvin Johnson came out, went to a practice, I think, with the coaches.
Oh, yeah.
He was going into Hall of Fame, so there was a lot of story talk about the Detroit Lions days. He talked about Matthew Stafford on this show and other shows. Thought it was the right time to get back in there, and then the Lions made it. They said, hey, here's an offer. All right, you get your money back. Remember, that's what you want. This is the whole thing. You got to work 28 fucking hours for us. You got to come to one of our terrible games, 5 hours. We'll hit every single suite. And then you got 23 more hours of shit you got to do. We might need you to go build a goddamn playground. That's only going to count for 1 hour, though. We need 22 more of those things throughout Detroit. And Calvin Johnson's like, what? You can pay me to do all that shit. All right, you can pay me another contract on top to do whatever the fuck you want me to do. I'm just talking about the money you owe me from a decade ago. And now it's coming out. Calvin Johnson said, I ain't doing shit for it. You're going to pay me this or you're not going to pay me this. And the Detroit Lions, I assume, will handle this in an accurate fashion. Let's hit up some of the boys. At Evan Foxy. Yikes. You got to love when the Lions are back in the news cycle, especially for something like this.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, Pat. This is why we are the worst organization, not only in the NFL, but all of sports, and that's all I got to say.
Well, you guys still, that football team's fighting until the very end.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
You guys are done 45
this
points.
Team plays tough, man.
And MCD, I'll tell you what, man. they were fighting in that thing so much so that they covered.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Absolute dog shit. Well, that's gambling, baby. That's going to happen. But that team's going to fight. But the organization, I think, does have some things they got to work through and figure out. I'm not sure how this pans out with Calvin Johnson, but we are a firm believer in this particular studio that the Calvin Johnson curse is an actual thing.
Oh, yeah.
The Detroit Lions will forever stink because of the curse that has been put in there by the team's billionaire owners.
Right.
Taking money out of their Hall of Fame player who decided to retire early and literally never come back to football because of how bad it ended over there. All right? Not only him, though, Barry Sanders, same thing. Hey, need the money back.
Yep.
Barry Sanders. So I think we all saw Ted Lasso. They had an athletic training room that was allegedly cursed. Whenever he showed up there, something happened. They went in there. I think they did some sage. They did some other shit. They smoked out the curses. I think the Lions need to think about just writing that guy a check, not only for 1.6, but hey, tax him. He should probably put 1.75.
Might as well.
1.8, 1.9. I mean, if we're talking about interest and how good Calvin Johnson is at investing, that $1.6 million probably 15, 20 million at this point. So what I'm saying is the Lions should want to make this right. Calvin shouldn't have to come out and answer questions saying, I'm not doing anything for that.
No.
Because Calvin Johnson isn't the one saying, hey, you owe me 1.6. He's saying, hey, if you want to make this right, this is probably what it's going to take. This is how I feel. Even though he is comfortable money-wise and financial-wise, whenever somebody takes money out of your pocket, okay, especially somebody you feel like, I've done a lot for you, I don't think he's out of line at all.
No.
And the fact that he has to come out publicly and say, this is all I'm asking for so that the narrative doesn't get painted against him, by people, it's like, this is beautiful NFL PR at work. The Lions have somehow been able to slip past this for so long. Now it's getting brought back in there. And guess what? We ain't going to let it die. Calvin Johnson was very nice to us. I'm a big fan of Calvin Johnson. And also for the good of the fucking Lions.
Yeah.
Get the curse out of the building and just pay the guy, Foxy.
How come every single person on earth knows he deserves that money and yet they still won't do it? I honestly don't understand. It's embarrassing.
Say it with me. Because it's the goddamn Lions.
They stink.
And it won't be the year until we pay Calvin Johnson.
I honestly,
never be the year.
Hey, I read The Alchemist, okay, and I believe the universe tells you stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like the universe has tried to tell the previous owners, now Sheila Ford, I feel like the universe has tried to tell them, like, hey, listen, this got brought back up at perfect timing. Brand new owner. Hey, the Hall of Fame's happening. We can just make this thing just go away with the new ownership. The universe was trying to drop that into their life. Like, hey, here you go. We're just going to make it right. He's going to Hall of Fame. We want to practice. You guys, this is kind of your thing. You can make it right. And still, somehow it's like, Yeah, we could make it right, but also
Fuck that guy.
What about the
fucking
community?
28 hours of community service.
A year. It was 3. It's because they were going to give $500,000 in 3 different payments.
Yeah.
So they're going to make them do 28 hours each year during that time.
And by the way, people that work 40 hours a week and say like, hey, that's a bunch of bullshit for that amount of money, we agree. Hey, I completely agree. If you were just to talk 28 hours for the amount of money they were going to pay him or whatever, it's an absurd thing. And I think Calvin Johnson would even say it's absurd. But what Calvin Johnson's saying is, I'm not going to work for you. Okay, if you want me to work for you, we can negotiate that contract.
Right.
What this is all about is what you owe me from a decade ago.
Yeah.
This is a whole, you're talking about 2 different things. And I assume Sheila Ford Hamp was going to have, because, hey, MCDC said she's awesome. She's giving them everything they need, everything they want. Get rid of the curse. Pay that man his money. Okay, that's what I think should happen at Ty Schmidt. What's going on?
Well, that's what I don't understand is Dan Campbell came out and said, like, we want to make this right. And if he is super tight with Sheila Ford Hamp, like, when you first read this, it's almost like I thought Calvin Johnson was asking for like $150 million. And then you look a little closer and it's like, oh, no, he's asking for like $1.5 million. Like, they're fucking billionaires. That's a drop in the bucket. You'll never see that money again. It just makes no sense.
And also shout out to Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? Uncle Sam's going to get a pretty good penny of that whole thing. I mean, it's just, I think right now it is literally just principle for Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson, by all accounts, hard worker, great guy, incredibly intelligent, just all these things.
Class act.
A class act, great businessman. I think all these things. And him just looking at them being like, that's not right. Like, I'm not... I love it. I just want to let everybody know I absolutely love everything about it. And this will be the most we talk about the Lions for some time, unless they somehow gnaw the kneecaps right off of Aaron Rodgers on Monday Night Football. Hey, right now would be a good time to give Calvin his money, by the way. Monday Night Football is about to happen. Lions don't give any primetime games other than those Thanksgiving games. Now would be the time to get that curse out of your building, I think.
Absolutely.
Maybe that'll be what they do before the end of the week. That'll be the Friday news dump. Hey, and by the way, we have decided to pay Calvin Johnson not 1.6, but we did give him $750,000.
Whoa! Be a massive win.
That'd be a big time positive spin maybe for the Lions. Maybe go ahead and do that.
Well, you also look at this, it's like, I don't know if paying him is just like, then everything that they've done and like how they've treated him for the last decade or so just like gets them off the hook. Like, yeah, we'll pay you. He's probably thinking like, well, I don't want to fucking come and like put on and act like, you know.
No, you would have to wear a Lions polo.
Exactly. Yeah. He's got to be, you know, just like a, you know, good old boy, and we'll pat you on the back and parade you around and make you, you know, do everything, and you'll be.
It is like he's a pet.
Exactly. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, like you guys can pay me, but you owe me that. I'm not gonna forget the way you fucking treated me for the last 10 plus years.
Just make that thing go away. Let the Lions win.
Please.
Just let the Lions win. MCDC wants them to. Jared Goff wants them to.
Yeah.
Pay him.
I want them to.
Put his jersey in the rafters.
I mean, you want them to, depending upon at what point of the season it's in, right?
That's right. That's a good point.
Foxy.
I mean, we falsely accused Boston Connor of maybe becoming a diehard Tampa fan last year when after the Patriots didn't make the playoffs, and he just was like, I guess it would be nice if Tom was to win, and we kind of took advantage of that. But Foxy actually took his entire Detroit Lions uniform off and put on a Pittsburgh Steelers
Week
uniform.
12?
Week 12 of the season.
Hey, we're past that, though. This is a Motor City Dan Campbell era now.
Yeah,
so
we're
way past that.
You're right.
But think about Jim Irsay and what he did for Edgerrin James and Peyton Manning for the Hall of Fame stuff. I guarantee he paid more than $1.6 million just for that weekend alone for those two guys.
The party, the parties, I guess.
Buying
Edge a Rolls Royce.
Bingo.
He's buying Edge a Rolls Brother, Edge is getting a car,
the
man.
Plane, the glove box.
How about
check the glove box?
There'll be a little something in the glove box. He cut a promo into Edgerrin James's Instagram or whatever. He was like, Lamborghini, Rolls Royce, Bentley, it's whatever Edge wants, man. It's like, think about that type of ownership versus what's going on in Detroit.